Hi guys, you're welcome to my channel. Alright, this video is for those of my friends and my followers who are always insisting and demanding for automation training. Yeah, it's always my pleasure to see you excel in automation industry and also see you work without any close supervision. Okay, you have confidence while working and you work with passion and you work with um, all professional and safety associated to your particular career or your line of expertise. Now, but my advice still remains that you go to automation from a control system perspective because why I make sure I stand my ground to advise you on this. I've been in the field for years and I see people trying to survive and trying to navigate in labor market and trying to get fit in labor market because of diversion in career or they are not confident doing their job. So sometimes in the field, you see some people troubleshooting and fault finding become a challenging task to them. But when you ask them to carry out installation, they can do it perfectly. But when the project or the installation fail, troubleshooting on that particular installation become a very big problem to them because they are doing a kind of copy and paste, you know. But I wouldn't want that. So I will always advise you, those of you that want to register with me, they want to write code, they want to program, they want to do automation, PLC. I said, no, hold on. Don't register yet. Let me ground you. You know, I've been in the system. The challenges you will face in the field is what I want to rectify from the upcoming youth, you know. So I wouldn't want people to be victimized. I wouldn't want you to go through what we went through while trying to also professionalize our ground, you know. So that is why I advise you to understand control system first before I teach you. Let me go to automation first. This is the automation we are talking about. Like I said, if you understand the basics of control system and how logic functions, you will also understand this particular logic. This is a star delta. All right, this is a star delta. Now, having been able to know star delta on schematic, you also learn how to convert it to ladder. Then you also understand the operational sequence of star delta. You also understand why do we need star delta? What are the applications of star delta? Why do we need that same star delta? Though it's quite unfortunate now that we have a lot of advanced method of using uh, industrial motors that does not involve star delta. We now have variable speed drive, we have soft starter, and we have other modular devices that can control induction motor efficiently than star delta. But I will still teach you star delta because it's a conventional method of reducing starting current and starting torque of an induction motor. So if you understand star delta, any other technology that is coming to replace star delta, you will also subscribe to that. You will also understand the reason why they invented that particular device to take over. So you know difference between the two because if you want to go far in a particular design, you must first of all understand the functionalities and the configurations and the advantages of a particular process before you advance on that particular process. You know, somebody may put up a design and you want to also advance on that design. First of all, understand the functionalities of that particular one before you now make a change and put up advancement to override that particular sequence or that particular device. Okay, so that is the reason why I'm taking you back. I'm taking you back to control system, you know, bringing you from analog system to digital. Okay, so this is the star delta. Like those of you demanding to write PLC with star delta, here is it. This is the first network. Okay, let me go back to control. Like I showed you control before. Now see control. This schematic here is the control. This is control circuit. Then this other schematic is my power circuit. The logic of this power circuit operation is dependent on the logic of this particular control system. So let's see if we can simulate so that you understand the function, okay? Because when I teach you, by the time you register, once you register and I start teaching you how to design, you also learn how to design it and how to simulate it and how to also couple the component, connect all the component and enclose them in a panel and test them. Finally, you now write a PLC program and link your program to this particular control system, and your PLC will now control this logic. All right. So that is the method I want to teach you with. Okay. So let's see. Let's simulate. I put on this one. This is my power circuit. Let's simulate this. I put on this. Then this one will come up. As you know, two contactors must come up simultaneously. After a few seconds, this one will take over. All right. This one has taken over. And these two are running now. This is the motor running. Okay. Where there is a fault, here will trip. Where there is a fault, this overload will trip. Then indicator lamp will come up and the system shut down. Okay. You can go now and reset again and system restore back. Okay. So this is how star data function. Now let's go to automation. Now this automation. All right. Let me see if I can also simulate. Let me simulate. No, this video will not allow us to simulate, but let me just carry you put up show you control system, then later we'll come and simulate this. I think we did that before. Let me show you control system I've been telling you about. Now this is a control system. This is an interface panel. I designed this panel. I built it from the scratch and fixed the whole of this component. Okay, this is my boy sitting here, you can see. So we use this panel to interface PLC. We have PLC. So we want to interface this with PLC to the field device. Let me show you what we are designing this for. Yes, look at what we are designing that. Look at the panel. We are designing it to interface this VFD, this variable speed drive. This is me talking to you. Look at me standing here. Okay, so we use this panel now to interface between VFD and our PLC control room so that whenever PLC fails, we can use this to control our VFD and it will now communicate to our field devices, induction motor. Okay, all right. So that is the essence of this. So if you don't know the functionalities of control panel and you write a program and then download to PLC and PLC fail, how would you now be able to troubleshoot on the field device? That is why I want you to familiarize yourself with the control system. Let me show you another control system. Okay, this is the same panel we are talking about. Then, or look at this. Now take a look at this. If you don't want to understand the perspective I'm coming from now, this is the central hub of what I'm saying, talking about. This particular switch gear is what we call bus bar. It's a bus bar switch gear. So this is the central load, the load central, all the load from the field, from the whole facility and the field and all the factory, the whole of the load, all of them are connected from here. They are going out from here. Then PLC we are talking about, this is also a modular controller. It's also a programmable logic control. This particular thing I'm checking my cursor now. So you must understand the basic operation of control system. This is also a control system. If you don't understand this, troubleshooting on your PLC, you'll find it difficult. All right. So understand how relay functions, how okay, I think I have a let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let me just show you something. All right, now take a look at this. Those panel that I just showed you, those bus bar switch gear switch bus bar that I showed you, it just composed of relays, contactors, switches, modular engine modules, controllers, relays, contactors, switches, sensors, and so on. That particular panel is composed of those devices. So you should learn how those devices react. You should also control a process using those devices before you write PLC to control them. Okay, now this is star delta. I just put up this star delta. Okay, now 1, 2, 3. These are contactors I use for star delta. This is mains contactor, star contactor, delta contactor. Now let's put that on. This is my PLC. I use a smaller PLC so that this tight space factor will accommodate all of them. I also have this 1200 series. Let me bring this down. I'll show you another type of PLC. I also have this one, this particular one, but no space, to position this well. This another PLC. This is the one you are conversant with. So because of space, I have to use PLC logo, but the connections are the same, identical. Okay, the same thing. So let me take away this. So now, your start delta that you must know how to write a program, but now carrying out the connection become a very big task. So this is how you carry out it. How do you know how to carry out the connection? That is when you now register your control system training. Having gone through the programming, the coding process, you must also understand the connectivity behind the particular profession you align with. All right. Now let's test first. Let's see if we can simulate. Now this is star delta. Monitor this contactor, see them close. I put the system on. These two close. Indicator lamp come up. After some time, this one will shut down. This one take over. Look at it, just taking over. So this is the operation on star delta. Now, this is a mini ladder diagram that I just put up to control this one. So that PLC I showed you, this particular one I showed you before, this one, having known how to write this, you must also understand this connection. This one, this is the connection of that particular logic I just showed you. All right. This is the start button, stop button, emergency. This is just three input bit, only three input bit that I used on that start delta. Then the output bit I use is just 3 to 1, 2, 3. I take them from here. Okay. Sorry, let's stop the simulation. All right, now, so if you understand coding after your programming, you must also carry out your connection from your program, from your hardware to your PLC CPU. Look at the connection process. This is the output to my contactors. These are my input bit to my input devices. This is the hardware devices. These are the hardware devices. These are hardware devices. Then these are software bit logic, software logic bit. I use software logic diagram. So I use this to control this PLC, because if I don't put up this simulation will not recognize these contactors. All right. So this is the conventional way of wiring your star delta using PLC software. All right. Okay. So the next exercise, I will also take you through the process. So when you come to register, once you register, we are going to start from control system. Understand the function of contactors, relays, contact and switches, push button, indicator lamps, know your configuration about them. We now write program to control them. Okay, that is where we start. That is our starting point. All right. Thank you.